What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Cure, and we're going to move on to the next album proper. I think as Philip, the person providing the goods for this deep dive, suggested, maybe it'll be best to go through the albums proper, and at some point we can go back through and listen to some of the other demos and the bonus tracks. So the first track on Faith, 1981, though this is the, I think, 2005 remaster, is The Holy Hour. So I feel like this is maybe a phrase that perhaps has a specific meaning, but not being aware of that, thinking of it more in general terms, I would wonder if it relates to some manner of prayer chronology, meaning in a lot of religions there are prayers for particular times of the day, and maybe one of those parts of the day is considered the holy hour. I don't know, like Vespers and other things like that. Nevertheless, I feel like maybe it could be based on something in that regard, but then have a more general meaning, and it could be taken to someone's personal life, that a certain experience they had with someone else during a particular hour was the holy hour because they reached some higher plane of experience. Nevertheless, it could just be a phrase that doesn't have any religious connotations, but when you use the word holy, obviously you're going to think in that regard. In any case, let's see what I can pick up on a first listen. This is The Cure. The track is The Holy Hour, and it's the first tune on their 1981 album, Faith. Oof. Dark and brooding. There's a like church bell at the measure changes, or the bars. So a deeply intense tune. It wasn't energetic, it wasn't loud or aggressive, but it had a deep intensity to it, perhaps most expressed by that cyclonic bass line that was not fast, not particularly forceful, but very heavy and repetitive and just kept coming around and around. And then it was working in conjunction with those jangly guitars, which they were sort of lined up, but then the guitars were kind of double time compared to the bass chords. So it had this symmetry, but also separation as it went through. I didn't catch all the lyrics, but it did feel like maybe we're talking about sitting through a church service or a mass, and a lot of those tend to be around an hour. Obviously it depends on what religion, what denomination, what parish, what particular preacher, and so on. But yeah, they tend to be somewhere in that range. So then I thought, he's sitting here talking about someone's promising him salvation, but then he's like listening dreamlessly. Was that the line? I forget exactly the line. And then like children playing these old games, and so it felt like maybe it was this, he's ensconced within some religious culture and service and experience, but there's a bit of a disconnect. There's a bit of a, they're telling me these things, but I can't really see them, and I'm taking part in this, but I'm thinking about how it may relate to history and culture more broadly, so I don't quite know what's happening here, but the sonics of it felt like there was a bit of a jaded, disconnected kind of feel, and the little bit that I took or captured from the lyrics sounds like there's at least pensive, wondering if salvation is really awaiting at the end of all these things that are happening. Because if you're saying the promise of salvation, you're not saying that you totally see it and believe it and feel it in everything that's happening. It's like, well, they're saying this is what's going to take place. I'm not quite sure if that's what I feel or that's what I see. So if it's running in that direction, I feel like the sonics express that lack of conviction pretty well. So either way, the vocals felt a bit distant. When they started, I was like, oh, it almost sounds like this pained and strained type of gospel or church style singing. Now as it went on, it still felt like a bit of that melancholy Cure vocals, or the stylings that I've heard from Cure vocals over the course of the first couple albums. But it felt like maybe even the vocals were speaking to the religious environment that seems to be referenced. And of course, faith as the album title seems like maybe that will be a running theme or a set of themes that appear throughout the album. In any case, a very heavy and deep track or album opening track. I'm curious to see if this is a sort of continuing sonic atmosphere or if there's a mixture of sonic intensity and stylings over the course of the record. Either way, a very somber and intriguing opener. Curious to hear what people have to say about this. Thank you again to Phil for sharing the Cure material. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.